Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this week for our weekly episodes. My name is Dyon Davidson, the founder and creator of Beadly Speaking Jewelry. I am joined this week by the awesome Lorena Lues, and she's wearing one of my beautiful pieces. This week kicks off our amazing series called It Takes a Village. I'm so excited about the series because, as I promised you this March, we're going to be featuring women who've made some amazing achievements. And not only is Lorena a good friend of mine, she is my health coach and an awesome lupus warrior and advocate. She's helped me along my journey, and I'm happy to have her join me today. I met Lorena through Angel Richardson.
Yeah.
Is beyond what I call a life coach. I call her my chainsaw cutter. She is so awesome.
She's fabulous.
And I met her through another friend of mine, Complex the Poet. So I'm so grateful to Angel for sharing her friend Lorena with me. So thank you, Lorena, for joining me.
I'm excited to be here.
So we're going to jump right into it. Lorena, it's been an interesting meetup, right?
It has.
I actually met Lorena in 2013, 2 weeks, about a week or two after I was diagnosed.
Yep.
Angel introduced me to her because I told Angel that I was just diagnosed with lupus, and she said, "You know what? I have the perfect person who could guide you through this journey." And I said, "Okay." She gave me Lorena's number, and we contacted each other through Facebook and then by phone, and the rest is history.
Yep.
So, Lorena, tell us a little bit about when you were diagnosed.
Okay, so I was diagnosed when I was 18. So that was in 1994. So I've been living with lupus for a little bit over half of my life now, over 23 years living with it. So
That's a long time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Wow.
It is. When I think about it and I say half of my life, I almost feel like that's not right, is it?
You're like, I'm not even that old.
Right, like
look at all
I'm
this.
only 30.
Right.
No, I'm blessed to be 40 years old. Last year I turned the 40.
She ain't 40, she lying. No, I'm just playing. She really is.
I'm 40.
But that's just amazing that you have that kind of track record,
Yeah.
because a lot of people hear about lupus and they think the worst of it. So the fact that you have that longevity speaks to how you've taken care of yourself, which is why I just couldn't wait to get your story out there.
Yeah.
So tell us what some of the symptoms that you experienced in the beginning.
So in the beginning, I was before the actual diagnosis, I was experiencing a lot. I was experiencing most of the symptoms that people have with lupus. I was experiencing fatigue, and it was the kind of fatigue that I would like get 14 hours of sleep and felt like I slept one. I was experiencing joint pain in my hands, my knees, my back, and the joint pain in my hands was so bad that I couldn't brush my teeth towards the end, like towards when I got diagnosed. Couldn't brush my hair. It was just so intense, and my fingers were, swollen, red, inflamed. I was having headaches, lots of headaches. I was having mouth sores, rashes, definitely rashes. But the one thing that I was having that was the most concerning to my doctors was that I was having swelling in my belly, swelling in my legs. Because when I was diagnosed with it, they actually also diagnosed me with lupus nephritis, which is lupus in the kidney, inflammation in the kidney. So that was, and towards even I'll say in the first couple of months of my diagnosis, it was a critical time. I started seeing blood in my urine because my kidney were, the damage that lupus had done on my body was so severe that you could actually see the blood that was coming out, because the kidney was so damaged. I was inflamed, from head to toe. Yeah, and I was towards the stages of losing my kidney function when they first diagnosed me.
And you were in high school, right?
I had just graduated from high school.
Wow.
I was in my first semester in college. I'll never forget because, your first semester in college, you're so excited and ready to, take on the world and start studying. And I didn't like high school a lot. I was so bored in high school. So when I got to college, I was like, yes, I get to pick my classes. And, so I was, and I had to.
Join the world.
Exactly. And join the world and I do what I want to do now. And I had to stop, actually had to stop like school within like the first couple of semesters.
Wow.
Yeah, and come out and I was hospitalized and they were trying to really get me. The biggest concern was obviously the organ because they were trying to save my save my organs so I wouldn't have to go into the dialysis process.
Right. I was just about to ask you, what do they have to do to save the kidneys?
So to save my kidneys, when I was in that emergency phase of stabilizing lupus, I went through chemotherapy. So I did chemotherapy for years throughout the course of stabilizing. But I also did like 1,000 milligram infusions of prednisone in the hospital to kill, to kind of really kill that inflammation that was going on in my body. And just loads of medication, like anything you can look, like when you look up medications for lupus, I've taken them. Every single one, I promise you.
Wow.
Every single one. Yeah.
I don't have nothing to complain about. I mean, as much as I'm like, I don't want. When I did the kidney biopsy,
I've been there and done that.
I called
Couple
Lorena.
times.
I was like, they botched the kidney biopsy. I felt the whole thing. Y'all said I wasn't gonna fail it. It hurts.
No, you do feel, especially you feel it, especially afterwards. Oh, that's right. But
No, I felt
something
the whole
happened.
thing. They
Something
messed it
happened
up.
with you. I remember that.
They messed it up.
That.
I wasn't numbed at all, so
Yeah.
I felt the entire thing.
Yeah.
And then a week later, they called me like, "Oh, we gotta do it over." What?
Yeah.
So yeah, I wound up having to do it over. So
And these are things that you have to do to kind of get an idea what's really happening at the organ level, because blood work is one thing, but actually looking at the tissue is something else.
Yeah. So I thank God that you were able to guide me through some of this, and God rest his soul, my friend Terrence Joseph.
Yes, I know Terrence. Yeah.
He was there, coaching me along the way too. But that was scary.
It ain't fun.
No,
it ain't fun
because I had to do it over, and then
Yeah.
they said they still didn't get enough samples. I was like, I'm not doing it again. That's 2 times now.
Yeah. So for those who don't know what a kidney biopsy is, they basically go in with a needle, a very thin needle, through your entire body into the kidney, and then they pull out tissue. So it's like going, like a pretty long needle going inside.
She dressing it up. The needle is so long, it starts from your wrist to your elbow, okay? She trying to make that thing sound good. I'm going to tell you like it is. And when they said, the second time, we didn't get enough samples, I said, can't you put sample 1 with sample 2?
No,
and they was like, no.
they
I'm like,
can't.
well, I'm not doing it over. Well, we need to figure out what caused it. Nope, we're not going to figure out what caused it. I already know what's there.
I remember you calling me about that.
I mean, I was in tears.
You were
I was a mess. I was like, you need to teach me some deep breathing or something, because this ain't working. I'm about to lose my mind. Check me into Shepherd Pratt, something. I'm not doing it over. So, yeah. Anyway. So.
Yes. I remember that well.
Yeah, I was a mess.
Yes,
This
you
was
were.
2014.
You were a
so,
mess. You were a mess.
Yeah, I was losing my mind. So.
You come a long way.
Praise be to God.
You've come a long way. You've come a long way.
This is how we are. So
All the time. I'm sorry, guys. We're going to refocus. Okay.
All right. So
Refocus.
tell us how you stay well, how you thrive.
I believe there's a lot of things that I do on a day-to-day basis. I believe my most powerful tool for thriving is my connection, my spiritual connection. And what that means for me is that I do my best to not allow even the thought of you're not going to be okay, or you're not healing all the time. I'm always, and when I say spiritual connection, I don't mean like church or a mosque, or I mean the spiritual connection to that energy of like protection, and I call it God. So I call it God, but it's that feeling of like you're being taken care of, you're being protected, you're in a journey, and whatever happens in your journey will be for your highest good.
Right.
Stay faithful, stay hopeful, and stay encouraged and positive. So that's my biggest tool that I use in everything in my life, but especially when it comes to lupus, because I've gone through so much suffering because of it. So I've had to, you you can't really depend all the time on people. You know, you have to really, and when you have them there, I mean, I have a great family support, I have great friends, but at the end of the day, you're going to bed by with yourself.
Right.
And whether you have a partner or not that you go to bed with, it doesn't matter. You're still going to bed with your own pain and with your own suffering. So having that connection, having that source where you're like, okay, God, I know I'm going to be okay. You know, give me encouragement, give me positivity, and give me hope. And that's a cultivation thing that you do every day when you wake up. Yeah. You know, it's not like it just happens. It's a practice of your mind, of deciding, you know what, I can choose this thought or I can choose that thought. And I'm gonna choose that. No, I'm gonna be okay. I mean, even in my worst moments.
Oh my God.
You know, even when I was like losing kidney function, I was like, no, that's not what's happening with my life. That's not where my journey's going. I'm going to be okay. And I had every reason to think that I wasn't. So it's that mental, that mental work that you do and that spiritual connection. I practice yoga. So a lot of I'm a yoga teacher, and I also have students in it, but I also practice it myself, like of course most yoga teachers do. And I think that connection to God or to spirit, and that connection with yourself, and it's a lot of that comes from yoga for me, because a lot of the yoga practices relate to that. That trusting the process. Having reassuring yourself that whatever is happening in your life is for the highest good of your life, and all your troubles are part of your journey. They're not like, you know what I mean? They're not like, oh, here we go with this problem. Yeah. No, it's like your health issues, the breakups with the boyfriend, the money issues, like whatever's happening that seems difficult, it's part of your evolution.
You just stepped on my toe.
Yeah, so yeah,
no,
I didn't do it on purpose.
No, I know what you mean, because it took me back to that first meeting when I came to you.
Yeah.
And I was so broken. I was so over it. I was so hopeless.
Yeah, you were. I remember that.
And I was just done. I had given up. And I mean, I had been in pain by this time, almost a year.
I know.
And it was just, and you said, this is going to be the best thing that ever happened to you. And I rolled my eyes at you.
Oh, she was so mad at me. I told her, I held her hand. She had just got diagnosed a couple of weeks ago, and she was going through a lot of pain, but I looked at her, and I said, lupus is going to be the best thing that ever happened to you. And she did something like that, like what she just did. She like rolled, but she rolled her eyes, and when she rolled them, the eyes stayed rolled. And I've never seen that before. And I don't get scared much, but I was like, wow, I don't know if I should keep holding her hand or kind of step back.
That was rude. But I can't believe I did. I was hurting.
But that's what I meant. I meant like this is part of your journey of of healing or of your highest evolution. I feel like health issues a lot of times can bring you to that highest evolution, because it gives you a moment to be like, what is my life about? What is the most important thing? Like, what do I need to be really focused on? Because a lot of times when you don't have those life-changing things, you really are living through your life like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, I was.
Not focused on like what's most important, and not working on cultivating relationships, and not taking care of yourself, like, partying too much or eating trashy food, or, not taking care of your body as the temple that it is.
Or your mind.
Even more important. So yeah, even more importantly,
oh my God.
Your mind. Yeah. So it's something that I think that for me it has been a blessing. My friend the other day asked me, he's like, how do you do it? How do you stay so positive? And I'm like, look at me, like I feel so vibrant, and I feel so grateful that I have this, because it makes me look at my own behavior. It makes me look at how well I'm taking care of myself. It makes me appreciate life so much more. I'm so much more selective of like how I spend my energy. Mm-hmm. Who I spend my energy with.
What? You never lied. I'm not coming. You invited me something.
Right. No, things have to be really, really like, vibrant and important for me to put energy into them. Or when I get upset about something, I'm like, is this really worth it? is this stress really worth my body going through, any changes? Because I always have to think about keeping the baby, quiet, and meaning lupus. So,
Right.
So it makes you think, like, do I want to get stressed out about this traffic this morning? Do I want to really, engage in this relationship where I'm going to be suffering or where I'm not going to be taken care of, in a partnership? Or do I want to deal with that family member that's just negative? So I get to really be selective. I know I would not have that if I didn't have this diagnosis.
I know.
Because I would be like just living life like without really that much consciousness is the word.
Yeah.
I think it's that consciousness. So, I
Well, you were right.
Yeah.
You were right.
I
can
told you.
say this on camera. She was right. It has been the best thing.
Yeah.
That has ever happened to me, because not only am I more clear and focused about me,
and your life,
my health,
yes.
my life.
Yes.
When people give me their stuff, I'm learning how to give it back. I don't take it and sit with it and let it hurt me.
Yeah.
I'm learning how to heal me from the inside out. I watch my mind and my body. I don't just go through life.
Yeah.
So when you said it, I was like, whatever.
Yeah, but
but now it's true.
I had a feeling when I met you that you would integrate that at some point, and you would like practice it, and you would realize that it was true. And really quick, because I know we don't want to make this video too long,
right?
But I wanted to say a couple more things. The other things that I do that are super important is I keep my body moving. So I'm either walking or doing yoga as often as possible. I'm not going to say every day, because sometimes I just don't do it. I don't have the energy, or I'm too busy, but I'm doing something, even if it's like 15 minutes of like stretching, as often as possible. I try to keep my body moving. And the last thing is I watch every single food that I eat. Like I'm always conscious about what I'm eating, even if I'm eating something that I know I should not be eating, like something that's doesn't have like top-notch ingredients or whatever. But at least I'm conscious about like what I'm always doing with nutrition, because with lupus, it's imperative that you are not taking in a lot of chemicals and ingredients that you don't really know what they are. It's the most important thing is to eat very simple and eat the least amount of ingredients in all your foods, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and
right.
So I wanted to make sure I said that.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you got to learn how to breathe. That's something Lorena taught me, how to breathe, and that has helped me to breathe through pain.
Yes.
Pain that wakes me up out my sleep. Pain that y'all know the pain.
Oh yeah.
I don't have to go into details, but I'm so excited about this journey, and where it has taken us. And I'm more excited about where it's gonna go from here. So, as we continue to share information with you guys, and especially people who are newly diagnosed, don't forget, this is not designed to kill you. Because when I came to Lorena, I was a hot mess. Yeah. And I wouldn't even think that here I am now in 2017 from where I started in 2013. Yes. That my skin even looks better. I had these dark circles around my eyes. I looked horrible. But now it's about journeying to wellness. Yes. Total wellness. That's so don't forget to just love on you. Yes. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle. And most importantly, take it one day at a time.
Breathe.
Take it one day at a time. Don't rush the process. Just take it one day at a time. That's something I had to learn the hard way, because I want to get stuff over and done with. And you can't do that with lupus. You have to be patient. Yes. So as we continue our series of It Takes a Village, Lorena was gracious enough to sit with me and share some nuggets.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Anytime. My pleasure.
Don't forget to share this video with friends and family.
Yes, please.
And like this video, subscribe it. And as always, love on you, love on somebody else. Be kind, be compassionate. And until next time, don't forget to go to Instagram, Facebook, and like Beadly speaking pages. Love you. Mwah.
Bye, guys.